Hey guys, I'm back again here. It's only been a couple of minutes. I just wanted to show you what I did here. You might be asking yourself, when I put the mark on there, and then I painted everything, I lost the mark. Well, what I did was I put 2 screws into the panel before I painted it, where it was at when it was at the line, and that way I could find where I needed to get it to be oriented properly, and then I could paint it. So I had 2 holes in there, and I was using them as sort of like what you'd call a guide pin or something. But that's what it's looking like so far there. And I want you to know that what you're looking at there is this stuff. Now, everybody has his own brand of paint they like. I happen to really like Martin Senior paints, and I've liked them ever since, I don't know, maybe 25, 35 years ago when I started, probably 30 years ago I guess it was, when I started using them. I never heard of them before, but I like their paint. Whatever their lists and documents say about the paint, it usually does. And what I'm using here is Universal Gray Firm Seam Sealer. What I did was I put the seam sealer around the inside of this to seal any water from getting inside there by being kicked up by the tire. So product number is 4313, and if you can find anything else, and I'll be honest with you, probably a good latex or butyl type caulking, even house caulking, would probably work just as good. But I happen to have had this. You can see I had to cut the top pretty short because it was already getting hard because I had it for so long, but the interior still has some good stuff left in it, and I like the seam sealer. I've used it a lot of times and it does do the job, and it doesn't get hard right away, but it definitely does get hard as time goes on. So it's basically the same kind of stuff you would use for the like what you see in a trunk if you take up the carpeting and stuff. So that's seam sealer. Yeah, so anyway, I painted this panel front and back, so it's painted on the opposite side. I cut out the piece of rust that was in there, the bad part that was down in here. I oriented where the panel would be, and now I've got a nice straight edge to put my outer panel onto. Plus I painted all that was inside here. I sprayed paint way into the back of the panel there. So this should be good for quite a while. I'm not saying it's the best cut type of repair, but it's going to be a decent repair for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this to last, if it lasts 2 years without any sign of rust at all, hey, then that's 2 years more that you didn't have before. Besides, the guy owns a truck, it doesn't owe him anything, and whether he sells it or whatever, he'll have something decent to get rid of. So what I'm going to do is I want to finish that, I want to get that to finish drying. Now what I did there, and I just want to show you this, I don't know how good you can see that with the light off, but I have a heat gun here. I bought this little Wagner heat gun a long time ago, and what I did was I dried the whole inside, and plus back in there I dried all that. And I'm using it now to dry the paint a little faster. I want the paint to flash off so it doesn't get any dirt sticking to it once I start to put the outside panel on. And as far as stuff like right here where I was saying that water can get in there, you got to remember something, guys. Not only does water come in, but water also goes out. If you look at this, sorry about that. If you look at this, you'll see that this is tapered downhill. Okay, the panel. This panel here is tapered downhill, so it is made for water to run out. So once I put my new panel on there, I'm not going to seam seal between my panel and that. Okay, what I'm going to do is just paint the panel, which I've already etch primed it, and I'm just going to put it in there, and I'm either going to put screws up through it or I'm going to weld it. I could drill little holes in it and weld them, grind them up. You'll never see the welds, which is probably what I'm going to do on the sides and the top up here. Back up a little bit. Yeah. Along here, I'll drill holes in the panel, and then I'll just tack that onto there down here, and I can grind that thing off, and the only thing you have is a little bit of a lip. I could put my flanging tool on here, but I'm not going to do that because I'd have to take a lot of this off. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be fooling around with the welder any more than I have to by the gas tank opening, just in case. So I'm just going to go ahead and weld this down along that end. On this side here, on this edge, It's going to need a piece put onto there. If you're looking at it, it looks pretty bad. That's where it was rusted and stuff. So I'll probably take and put a flange around there just to have something for my other panel to hang on to. And the flanges are easy to make. You can bend them on a brake and then use the shrinker to curve them the way that's curved. So that's what I do with this. And you can see, I mean, it doesn't look bad, the repair. It's not perfect, but it's an under panel. So, you know, you still got the observation holes if you want to do something else in there. I paint the screws so the screws don't rust any quicker than anything else. And we should be in good shape there. And I'll paint the underside of that. Now, I probably won't put etching primer on the underside of the whole thing that's going to be exposed. I'll probably use some kind of rubber type stuff, some sort of undercoating, like regular tar type undercoating. Alright guys, so that's about it for now. I need to fit the panel on there. I'm waiting for the panel to dry. I actually primered it over on my bench, so I'm going to wait for that to dry. Maybe I'll use the heat gun to get it going a little faster. But I'm going to dry that panel and then start fitting the panel on there. And once it's fit and bent everything that it needs to be bent to work good, then I'll go ahead and put it in place. Alright guys, so I don't normally get you to see the inside of the truck, you know, the inside panels, and I thought maybe you'd like to see just something that ended up quick. And again, all of this doesn't matter at all. What you're after is this straight edge down here. That's what I needed. I needed something for my panel to come down and attach to. And now I have a nice straight panel for that. Alright guys, have a good one. Bye.